Days back, a new documentary about Diddy was released on Netflix. Hilariously, the documentary was produced by 50 Cent of all people. In the documentary, we got a closer look at Diddy's demeanor in his final days before his subsequent arrest. Netflix somehow acquired never before seen footage of Diddy. It appears Diddy was filming a potential documentary in the days leading up to his arrest, but after his arrest, he scrapped the project. Because of this, the videographers ended up not getting paid, and eventually it seems they sold the footage to Netflix, which they used for this documentary. In this unseen footage, we see Diddy's last days in the free world, and provided a glance at what a giant looks like when the walls are closing in. Another thing the documentary did a decent job at was showing how Diddy used and abused everyone he came in contact with since the very beginning. From his artists like Biggie and Craig Mack to his enemies like Tupac and Suge Knight, and even his lovers like Cassie and Kim Porter. Diddy abused them all. This documentary shows why Diddy is truly a monster, with those who spoke in his documentary confirming many of the allegations made against Diddy. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop that I will be releasing a new Patreon exclusive on famous spiritual leaders who were really fraud occultists in the Scott Diddy documentary. The first thing I instantly noticed was this interesting looking chain Diddy was wearing at the beginning of the documentary. The pendant was shaped like a triangle with a strange design in the middle of it. The symbol is actually called the triquetra, and in the occult world, it is used as a protection amulet. I don't think there's even a need to say what this chain also represents. We already know Diddy is a member of the club. I do find it interesting that they opened this documentary with that footage, showing Diddy squeezing on the chain like he truly felt it was protecting him. This shows how deeply Diddy was involved in the mystical, proving my point that I have been making since 2021, that a lot of the evil Diddy does is rooted in the spiritual world. There is something truly evil powering Diddy's actions. Another part of the interview that I found important was the charity basketball game Diddy hosted that ended in tragedy. Diddy cost the lives of his fans over 20 years before Travis would. The documentary implied that Diddy set up this charity basketball game and overhyped it. This led to the event going over capacity and causing crowding issues. With the lack of staff and the surge of people coming in, the event ended in several people losing their lives, being crushed by mobs of people. In the documentary, they demonstrated how Diddy refused to take any accountability, refusing to acknowledge that he was at fault for 9 people losing their lives at an event he hosted and planned. Something that really stuck with me was the fact that when Diddy went to create Bad Boy Records, he decided to put the company under his mother's and his best friend's names. He did this to protect his assets just in case the families of the victims who lost their lives would attempt to sue him. This showed that Diddy genuinely didn't care about the 9 people who lost their lives at an event he set up. He was responsible for keeping the event at capacity. He was also responsible for having the right amount of security and staff.
Okay, I agree. I agree. Okay, people that have chains, crosses, they're thinking it protects them. Their thinking is like, I don't know what you're thinking it is. Okay, that is what we call idols. That is idols. It's all demonic. It is all demonic. Anything that you have holding it, saying it protects you. You see in the movies in Hollywood, they use a cross. They point it out to a demon, like demon. Look, the cross is satanic, regardless. Okay, a house cannot rise against its own. It needs to come together. So when they use a cross in Hollywood and then trying to fight demons with it, you thinking, oh, they're using the cross to fight demons. No, the cross is diabolical. The demon is diabolical. They're just showing you that you can hang on to the cross. You can depend on the cross, but you cannot depend on the cross. Depend on the cross. You cannot. The only force comes from Him, Yahuwah, and that's it. Nothing else. And then now going back to the part where he said P Diddy put the company's name under his mother and his best friend. Look, it's not because he was scared that people would come and sue him like that. Like, bro, come on, man. I get what you're saying, but it's not why. It's not. Okay, let me rephrase that. He didn't want to have it on his name because eventually he knew that people will sue him, but not because of the people from that event will come and sue him, but the people in general. That's how a lot of people do it. Even Akon. Akon got his companies under his mom's name. What are you gonna say about Akon? I'm doing my own thing. I'm gonna put it under my mom's name. I was just thinking about that today. Like today, not yesterday. I'm talking about today, like maybe 30 minutes before I started filming. What are you gonna say about that? What are you gonna say about that? So it's not because He's scared that those specific people will come and sue him. It's just a thing. You scared that you don't want your wife to divorce you and take all your money, right? Because that's all they do nowadays. What do you think about this, man? Shout out to the Truth is for this video. Shout out to P Diddy. Shout out to 50 Cent. Shout out to Netflix. Let's get it.
But his desire was to host the grandest event that would make him look like a big star, but ended in disaster and tragedy. Diddy refused to acknowledge his role in the tragedy and took the necessary steps to protect the only thing he ever cared about, his reputation and his money. This truly showed how since day one, since before Diddy was a hip-hop mogul, he was already the monster he is today. Something that the documentary demonstrated again when they showed footage of Diddy interacting with his fans. During a part of the documentary, they showed Diddy in the streets interacting with some of his fans. Diddy appears to be all cheery and happy when he talks to his fans and stops to take pictures with many of them. But when he was done interacting with them and got back in his car, he started making comments on how dirty he was from mingling with the people, literally saying he was going to have to take a bath in boiling water and peroxide. Diddy was showing that he saw his fans like peasants, reinforcing that he uses everyone he comes in contact with, even his fans. He uses his fans to make money and to feel like a god. But deep down, he's disgusted by them and feels dirty after interacting with them. His love for the fans is all fake. It's just a part of Diddy's manipulation. The next important part of the documentary was the segment about...
I mean, how many of these people actually care for the fans? How many of these people actually care for the fans, man? They don't. They don't. Because if somebody loves you, they will not put garbage in your face. Because most of these guys' music is just diabolical. Do you think they care for you? They don't care for you. They're doing it for money. They do things they put to your face, to your kids and everybody else. So you eat it up. You're eating up dirt. And they're making money out of it. You think they care for you? They don't care for nobody, man. But themselves. It's not new. Come on, man.
About Tupac. Last year, the world discovered that Keefe D was finally arrested for the death of rapper Tupac. For years now, Keefe D had openly admitted to being a part of the situation that led up to his death. A death that not only Keefe blamed on Diddy, but also others involved in the situation. In the documentary, they played a police recording of Keefe D being interrogated where he confirms Diddy put $1 million bounty on Tupac and Suge Knight's head. Keefe claims that after Tupac and his crew jumped Orlando Anderson at the Mike Tyson boxing match, Keefe linked up with Anderson and their crew and went looking for Tupac in the area. When they found him, they ambushed Tupac and took him out, hoping to collect the reward Diddy had put on their heads. The next day, Keefe claims he sent word to Diddy, who asked him if Tupac's death was at their hands, which they confirmed. The detective in the documentary even confirms Diddy made a $500,000 payment to a middleman who was supposed to redirect the money to Keefe D and his crew, but the middleman kept the money instead. The documentary seems to confirm the rumors that Diddy paid for the hit on Tupac, which means he is the reason Tupac is gone. In the documentary, they made it clear that P. Diddy was always envious of Tupac. Tupac was the star that Diddy wanted to be, so Diddy became obsessed with ending him and taking his place. There was a part of the documentary where they showed just how much Diddy hated Tupac. As one of the male escorts who was paid to participate in the freak-offs for 8 years, recalled the day when he was at a freak-off with Cassie and a Tupac song happened to start playing. The man claims Diddy instantly was triggered and told Cassie to take his music off. The man also confirmed that he had only ever seen that reaction from Diddy when that Tupac song came on. This indicates two things. Either Diddy still felt hatred and envy for Tupac, or he felt guilty for being the man responsible for his death. Maybe even a mixture of both. This documentary makes it pretty clear that Diddy was the one responsible for what happened to Tupac, something that all these years later Diddy never paid the price for, just like he never paid the price for the club shooting incident with J-Lo. Now, I have spoken about this several times before, so I would make it brief. In the documentary, they show exactly how Diddy set up Shine to take the fall, which again shows us how he uses and abuses everyone he comes in contact with. The documentary reveals that Shine's lawyers were in fact Diddy's lawyers, with Diddy hiring them not to defend Shine, but to set Shine up to make sure he wouldn't go down for it. The lawyers purposely tricked Shine into admitting he shot the weapon, convincing him to go with a self-defense claim. The only thing is, if you know anything about New York, then you know there is no such thing as self-defense when it comes to firearms in New York. Firearms are strictly prohibited in New York City. Unless you have a weapons permit, which is extremely difficult to acquire, you can't use a firearm at all. By Shine's lawyers telling him to go with self-defense, he admitted to having a weapon and discharging it. They did this so they can pin all the blame on him and paint Diddy as an innocent bystander. As if he admits that he used the weapon, he's taking fault for the entire thing. While Shine thought he was holding Diddy down and he had a plan to get them out of the situation, in reality, Diddy only had a plan to get himself out of it by sacrificing Shine. Again, showing how Diddy uses and abuses everyone he comes in contact with. Diddy committed the crime, and then those close to him paid the consequence. He never paid the price for that club shooting, just like he never paid the price for what it seems he did to Biggie. In the documentary, they seem to suggest that Diddy wasn't only behind Tupac's death, but also behind Biggie's. Those being interviewed claim that although Diddy pretended he was close friends with Biggie, he never truly was. Instead, he was actually jealous of Biggie because he was the star and was talented. Diddy always wanted to be the star. He always wanted to be praised. So he didn't like that Biggie was getting all the attention that he desperately wanted. This was clearly depicted in the documentary when they claimed Diddy heard Biggie was chosen to be on the cover of the Rolling Stone magazine. So he stole the cover from Biggie and had them feature him instead. Parts of the documentary seem to suggest that Diddy also set Biggie up to die on the trip to Cali. Biggie met his demise after he went to Cali after the death of Tupac. Nobody ever understood why Biggie would even dare go to Cali after Pac's death, as they had been beefing right up to his death. Many people felt that Biggie and Diddy set Tupac up in that quad studio situation. So when Tupac was killed, fans of Tupac naturally hated both Biggie and Diddy, especially on the West Coast where Tupac was based. So Biggie deciding to go to Cali after Pac's death was a death wish. But for some reason, Biggie still chose to go to Cali and never returned home.
Hey man, don't come out here, man. Don't come out here. Look, that's the thing with California, man. California is different. If you're an artist, you're famous, you're coming out here, man, you better keep it low key, keep it different. Do not let people know that you're coming out here. You coming out here, Los Angeles, here? Nah, man, come on, bro. Stay like you gotta keep it low key. Keep it low key. That's just it. Keep it low key. You don't want people. You do not want a lot of people to know that you are coming here or that you are out here. You get what I'm saying? People, artists coming out here from New York or from out of state or from wherever, you may not make it back. You may not make it back. This is just a fact. I mean, history can tell you, not me. What do you think about this, man? Shout out to the True Face for this video, and then P Diddy, man. I mean, it's really. I heard a couple things that are new here, but really it is not new because there's nothing coming from this guy that would surprise me. There's nothing. Funny thing is, when I was a kid, they used to call me Diddy. Believe it or not. If I go back to Washington, D.C. right now, there are people that would call me Diddy. Not, kid you not. I cannot believe I'm saying this in front of the camera, but yeah, they used to call me that. So if I go back today in Washington, D.C., a whole lot of people will call me Diddy. And I'll be like, bro, no Diddy, bro, no Diddy, no more Diddy, no more Diddy. I'm trying to convince the whole squad that you cannot call me that. You get what I mean? I'm going to catch you guys next time. Make sure to pray. Do not stop praying. Put what Heavenly Father first. Yahoo. Yeah, man, I was born in the gutter. Ay. Yeah, man, I was born in the ghetto. Now you know that I grew up with a struggle. They even told me I would end up like a zero, but I ended up with a gold medal. Tu fais du bien, ça revient chez toi. Tu fais du mal, ça revient chez toi. Tu fais du bien, ça revient chez toi. Tu fais du mal, ça revient chez toi.